Hey guys, and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be dissecting the Fable trailer from the Xbox Games Showcase. I'm going to be bringing in decade-old knowledge and lore of the series and trying to dissect this trailer as we go along. We're going to be pausing at key moments and we're basically going to watch it along together, and hopefully I can give you some insight on some of the things you may have missed. Let's get straight into it.
Oh, right, you.
So let's pause straight off the bat here. Here we can see what I am going to assume is a steel mace. Now, obviously, maces were kind of big in Fable 2, and I think they were in Fable 1 as well. However, we did not see them in Fable 3. It was obviously then in Fable 3 majorly replaced by hammers and swords. That was the main kind of melee system we had for that game. So maybe this confirms maces are coming back, but at the very same time, it could just be a decorative prop. Looking slightly behind the mace, though, we see a torn down picture of someone. Now, again, I'm going to be a bit speculatory here. That's kind of the fun part of the video. This could very well be the hero that the retired hero in this video speaks about. Obviously, later in this trailer, they talk about taking in a hero at a young age and kind of she made all the wrong decisions. This very well could actually be her. And obviously, I think that the game was hinting that that would be the big bad boss towards the end of the trailer, which you will see. So this very well could be our first look at the big bad hero, or, to just be real, it could be a random picture that's just there for nothing more than decoration. These are the questions we want to answer them. Looking slightly left, you can see the guild seal. This does at least confirm that there is a guild in Albion. Whether it's in full operation, long since destroyed, or just not running at peak, we have no clue at this point, but hey, pretty cool to know this nonetheless.
You want to know all about heroes, do you? Well, you have come to the right place. Because, who better to...
Giving you another pause here, you can see, if you look, a guild seal here. This obviously is because he is a hero. This is then said later in the trailer. Obviously, I've watched the trailer multiple times at this point. There is a picture in the back, but I can't make it out. But it's very possible that what my mouse is on right now looks like a castle. So it could very well be the Fairfax castle looking place we've seen in the trailer.
In all his finery.
So here you can see we have a hero holding a mace and a shield. Does this confirm shields are coming to the game? I think I'd be jumping the gun there saying that, but again, it's not entirely impossible, and it very well could mean this. Pausing again, we see a castle. Now, I am going to be jumping the gun here and saying that this is Fairfax Castle. This is very clearly looking like Bowerstone. Maybe that's also jumping the gun, but I'm thinking that this is Bowerstone and this is Fairfax Castle. Whether it's actually going to be called Fairfax Castle in the game is a different story, but I think that this is indicative of the castle we saw in Bowerstone. We also get our first look at the streets of Bowerstone, hypothetically. Trying to zoom in a little here, I can't see much, but it looks like it's a very average street, and there's not a great deal. But if you look slightly here, you can see there is a sign. I'll obviously zoom in the edit, but there is a sign here that could very well hint towards there being a for sale system. That obviously is very exciting. If this means we can start renting properties and doing the landlord system like we could in the old games, that gets me super hyped. Obviously, that's very early days to say so, but I'm just saying there is a for sale sign looking thing here, and it's very possible. Pausing right here, we get our first look at gameplay, which is obviously pretty exciting. I'm looking up here and I think my eyes are terrible. That says Dodo and Sod. I don't know what that is. Perhaps it's like a brewery place. Perhaps it's a place where you can go eat. I'll zoom in the edit and you can correct me if I'm horribly wrong. I can't really zoom in right now. We also get our first look at some sort of statue over here. This very well could be Albion's greatest hero here in the middle of Bowerstone.
You get your mega fans,
You are like literally my favourite person.
your haters.
It's like a fan club.
So pausing right there, this is quite a weird shot to pause on. You kind of saw a negative and a positive reaction from two characters. This to me is hinting that the reputation system may be coming back, which is what I'm very excited for. I really want that to return. One of the things I loved about the Fable games was how the actual communities around the map perceived you. It always kept it really fresh, and it made you actually feel the weight of your actions in the games. And I really want that to return, so I'm hoping that's what we're seeing here and what they're hinting at. This may be me being a little bit optimistic here, but it looks like they're hinting perhaps at relationships and maybe even a family system. That seems like I may be jumping the gun pretty big there, but it is very possible that is what they're going for.
And the occasional giant toad.
This is the Toad we saw in the trailer. I don't know why giant frogs are such a big thing in this game, but I'm not against it. Giant frogs are cool.
It's about the choices you make.
I'm a hero.
So obviously pausing right there, we see confirmation that we are not the only hero in this world. If you go back to games like Fable 2, it's very prominent that we are the only hero. We are like one of the last heroes of all Albion, and obviously there's a couple more, there's obviously like Garth and all this, but like we are one of the very few heroes to still exist. This could technically be the same thing, perhaps that me, this character, and a couple others will be the only heroes. Or again, perhaps it's kind of set back more towards Fable 1 times, where the Heroes Guild is more prominent, and heroes are kind of a thing you see a lot of. But it appears that there is some sort of character here locked away in this cave, maybe even a dungeon. And trying to look slightly left here, I have no idea what this furry thing is. This could very well be a giant spider from Skyrim, for all I know, or it could just be a dead wolf, perhaps even a dead Balverine. Obviously, that was confirmed in the last trailer. So I have no idea what this is here. It looks to me like some sort of creature. If I had to guess, I'd be thinking maybe spider. It kind of looks spidery, or perhaps it looks like a dead wolf, but at least from the angle I'm at, I can't see here. Maybe there's some better shots out there on better PCs than mine.
Really, stays with you.
I'm just going to pause because this shot looks beautiful, and I feel like you all deserve to see that again. Yeah, this map looks crazy.
I took her in.
Pausing again, this to me seems like it's going to be a Bower Lake style area. If you look to our right, we can see a sort of cottage, which would be kind of reminiscent of Bower Lake. Or perhaps even of, is it Millfields from Fable 3? How that was kind of a bit more built up with some more fancy houses. You can see, of course, the castle overlooking it. This to me seems like it's going to be on the outskirts of Bowerstone, which is what leads me to thinking it's Bower Lake.
You know what?
I'm trying to look over here real quick because I'm pausing here. And obviously the attention's supposed to be on the big scary boss that our character is going to fight. But if you look, it seems like someone is attacking another person in the streets. Is this like a bandit attack? My guess then for this, and this is obviously very optimistic, is perhaps bandits have attacked whatever this town is, whether it's Bowerstone or whatever. And the pedestrians are defending each other, and perhaps they have brought the big boss we see in a minute with them. So perhaps the bandits have rushed towards Bowerstone in a big frenzy of an attack with a troll-looking thing to kind of aid them in battle. This could also hint towards bandits perhaps having control over random people out there, but honestly, again, extremely speculatory, but just what I'm picking up here from first looks.
Skill.
Pausing here, we get our first look at an actual weapon, and dear God, isn't it beautiful? The lighting and everything looks incredible here, by the way. So, like, yeah, I had no doubt that this game was going to be pretty because it's made by Playground, and Playground makes some pretty damn games, man. It seems like she's shooting at what I am going to assume are hobs, which is nice. Nice to see a classic enemy kind of return here. And obviously, she's using a normal bow and arrow. This leads me to believe the guns are not a thing at this point in Fable. I'm very 50-50 on this. Fable 2 is my favorite game. I love being the gunslinger, but it does leave us more room to work with in future installments if we decide to get any. You can see that our character's doing like a finisher right there, and then they throw an arrow. Now, I don't know whether this is some sort of weird counter move, or whether one of your spells is literally just like throwing an arrow, or perhaps you could just throw arrows. Perhaps we've just got a great throw. I have no idea what exactly is happening here, but my guess is that this character has shot an arrow and we are able to do something in-game where we can catch the arrow and throw it back like Hawkeye or something. I don't know. This is getting weird.
So, yeah, I knew this girl once who made all the wrong choices.
Humphrey. She's back.
So obviously, I feel like at this point, this is supposed to be the big turn in the trailer, as if Humphrey was perhaps actually talking about our character making all the wrong choices, which I feel like that was supposed to be the twist here. It's like, oh yeah, he's clearly talking about us, our character, going the evil route, and then we find out, actually, no, he's talking about the big bad boss, who perhaps he trained in a previous time before our game. This leads me to think that perhaps in his retired stage, Humphrey's a sort of mentor towards younger heroes, and that he has trained a hero that he regrets training and has gone the evil route, and now obviously he is training other heroes who perhaps be forming a team against that evil hero. That to me is the most logical plot I can put together so far for this game. And that is what I'm going to bank on at this point in time, that this is a retired hero who has trained an evil hero, and he's now training other heroes to try and build an almost Avengers team to take down the evil hero. Logo looks beautiful. God, I love Fable.
I'm going to fix it, this place. And no one is going to stand in my way.
So she says she's going to fix this place and no one is going to stand in her way. This to me is really, really interesting. I'm trying to figure out what the angle is here. Perhaps it's very much kind of like Lord Lucian, where he sees the current state of the world as this broken and corrupt place, and thinks that perhaps they should restart from fresh. Perhaps that's the sort of angle we're taking with this one. I'm totally for it. If so, I think that was always a great angle. Oh my god, we've just made our first breakthrough though, people. Can I get a round of applause for that? I can confirm that this is obviously the person we see at the end of the game. It turns out that this picture, as I did state earlier on, it looks to be the same person. If you look right there, you can see the leather glove and the staff-looking thing, and it's obviously a woman with a red cape. And then if we skip back to where we were...
And no one is going to stand in my way.
It is very clearly hinting towards that being the big boss, which I think does back up my plan of what is actually happening here. I do think that that picture is in Humphrey's home, and Humphrey has once trained this hero. This hero has then done what every hero has the option to do, gone rogue and evil, and now our Humphrey is trying to build up a sort of plot where we can go and get the evil hero. That to me makes sense, and I think that that's not a bad little conclusion to come away from with this trailer. And there we go, we get the release date. So, that's my analysis. Let me know how you think I did. I actually think we did pretty well here. We kind of dissected everything that I think would be important to know. Obviously, it's still very early days. I think I've done a decent job of getting us a sort of general plot. How correct I'm going to be, I genuinely have no idea. I just know that I've been playing Fable games for a very long time, and I'm trying to like connect all these clues and little references I think they'd give us. I do think I'm 100% spot on the idea that Humphrey has once trained the evil hero, and that's why the picture is there. And the plot is basically that we're now going to be going against that hero. I don't know how many people spotted that picture and kind of connected the dots there. So maybe that's a little breakthrough. I don't know. That's kind of cool to me. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.